carralaficklin.com. My name is Carrala Ficklin. So it's Carrala, C-A-R-R-A-L-A, Ficklin, F as in food, I-C-K-L-I-N.com. Welcome.com. Welcome is spelled W-Y-L-C-O-M-E.com. and askplain.com, ASKPLAIN.com. I've made a couple videos. I don't know if you've seen any of my other videos, but I do videos on the English language. English is spoken in the United States, is spoken in Great Britain, is spoken in Australia, to a certain extent is spoken in South Africa, in Jamaica. Also, I do some videos in Spanish. I'm an English speaker, but I've been studying Spanish for many years, and I have curiosity, and I'm very curious about not just speaking the language, but also comparing the two languages, because one is a Latin-based language, Spanish, which has more in common with French, but has more in common with Italian or Portuguese, versus English, although English has a lot of Latin-based words. English is not a Latin-based language. English is more Germanic, so it has more in common with Dutch, with Frisian, with German. It's a Germanic versus a Latin-based language. One of the things that I'm very curious about, or have always been very curious about, is how verbs are translated, especially some very important verbs from English into Spanish. Because a lot of times where in English you might have one word and it means a lot of different things, that same word, depending on its definition and meaning, when it's translated, it has an entirely different set of words in, let's say, in Spanish or in French. We have available cards on irregular English verbs, or irregular verbs in English translated into Spanish. And these verbs are translated not just literally, not just what the literal meaning of the word is, but also what's the figurative meaning of the word. Mostly all, especially verbs that are irregular, because they're some of the oldest verbs in the English language, especially those verbs, many of those verbs have not just a literal meaning, but also a metaphorical one. So I'm going to look at two verbs here. I'm going to look at the verb to fight and the verb to fly, and look at all the different translations for these two verbs. And it's amazing. It's just not translated just one-on-one translation, depending on its meaning. So I'm going to look at my computer here, which is right beside me, and then look at all the different meanings. So if you have the verb to fight, one of the translations would be batirse, luchar, pelear. That's one translation, okay? But that's not the only translation. Oh, by the way, you do know to fight is the present, is the infinitive, and the past tense is fought, and the past participle is fought, because that's why it's irregular. But to fight also means, going from English to Spanish, luchar con or resistir. It also means liberar. Now this is all depending on the context and all depending on what the meaning of to fight is. To fight, when you're talking about to oppose something, like to oppose a proposal, would be oponerse a, or luchar contra. To fight, like to contest an election, like what happened in the year 2000 with Bush v. Gore. presentarse a. For example, to fight, but when you're talking about to contest a seat when we're talking in the sense of politics would be presentarse como candidato para. Alright, now here we have the verb to fly, and you know fly is irregular, and the infinitive is to fly. The past tense, the simple past tense is flew, and the past participle is flown. But one translation to fly is volar. Another translation would be hacer volar. But in English, the word remains to be to fly. Another would be transportar. Another would be to fly, would be correr or ir. Volar or pilotar in avión or in aviones. Pasar volando. To fly, huir or escapar, Recorrer en avión. In a volar. And here we're talking about to fly, but in the sense of to fly away would be irse volando. Let me just give you one more verb. To fling, and we know the past tense of to fling is flung, and the past participle is flung. And one translation would be lanzar, tirar, arrojar, aventar. Okay, and for now that'll be it. We'll look at more verbs and look at more translations in other videos. Okay, thank you very much. This is Carrala Ficklin at carralaficklin.com, at explain.com, or welcome.com. Thank you.